Hey everybody, so it is me, Mandy. So it seems that I have reached 5,000 subscribers. Wow, it's kind of crazy actually. I know I've made like a lot of subscriber specials. I don't know if like they're annoying or anything, and this is my third one now, but I'm just kind of surprised and shocked I'm able to get this far. Really, I keep saying it, and I say it so many times, it's quite insane, but like, you don't understand how appreciated I am for having so much support. I originally started out, I made like videos, like 4 or 5 videos, and they would only get like 200, 300 views, and I had about 300, 400 subscribers back then, so it's kind of crazy how, like, massive I've gotten over a short span of like 2 to 3 months. It's quite crazy. And in case you don't know, like these like videos I make, they take hours. Like I have to write a script, I have to research, and then editing takes like hours and hours. So, and I'm not trying to like brag or anything. It's just I'm just letting everybody know. It's just like just if you're out there and you want to become like a Danganronpa YouTuber, or you want to be a YouTuber, or like just your content, just don't give up. It's you're gonna get bigger, trust me, because again, like I said, like when I first started, I was not doing any, like I wasn't really getting anything. I wasn't getting many views, but I still put hours of work into my content, and now I've just gotten a lot of support. And again, I'm so sorry. Like I keep talking about it. I'm probably being really annoying, but I just appreciate it so much. So thank you everybody for watching and liking and everything. So yeah, and also this is a very off the script video, just like my 3K one. Don't I don't want to say expect a lot of these, because don't, but there are definitely times where I have to kind of like do a non-script video, mainly because of the topic involved. So for that Q&A, it's like I don't really want to do a script for a Q&A. It just feels a bit unnatural to me. And then it's same with this video, which is ranking every Danganronpa character, like, on my opinion, because a lot of people, I put a post out actually on my community tab talking about it, and I was just wondering what ideas, and a lot of people were saying some ideas, and I've definitely taken those ideas into account. Some ideas that a lot of people suggesting is make a character tier list. I did make a strong character tier list, but that was kind of mostly a joke. A lot of people took it seriously for some reason. It's not. I literally had Tobey Maguire in there, and I put Monotaro in OP, so I don't know why people took that very seriously. But I will now do a personal tier list video. I've put out my tier list before, but I haven't really explained it, and I do apologize if will be a long video. And I apologize if it's a very boring video, and if you didn't want to watch it or expect it. So again, my apologies for it. But there are definitely ideas that some people have put in those comments, which will definitely help me out a lot in terms of know what to do next, because I have some ideas written down for what to do next. I'm just kind of waiting on a couple things. So yeah, and I did have a video planned, but I was gonna do this one instead. However, do not worry, it will come sooner or later. But again, I apologize. I'm saying sorry way too much. Anyways, let's get into the tier list. So first we have, you know what? You're pretty good, because you know, like, I think they're a pretty good character. You have your ups and downs. I mean, it's basically what it says. You're pretty good, but you can have some down moments, so I'm not really feeling it. Shadow the Hedgehog, because I don't really have an opinion on that game, so people who go in there, I don't really have a strong opinion on, or I don't know as much about them as I do with other characters. Could be improved upon, pretty self-explanatory. And then you drink expired milk, because I don't really like them, and I think they're a pretty bad character. So, and I'm pretty sure this is in order. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, alphabetical order. But shout out to the person who made this, the Shadow Buddy Free. Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, I know tier list makers are not hard, but I do appreciate, this is like the main one that everybody goes to when it comes to making a Danganronpa tier list, so much appreciated to you. Let's get on. So Akane. So by the way, I'm not going to put into account unpopularity or love-wise in the fandom. I want to exclude all fandom stuff out the way, because I don't feel like it'd be fair to judge them based on popularity, so I'm going to base them off just in the series. So Akane, she's very sexualized, just like another character in DR2. And I get Akane's not supposed to be very smart, but it just doesn't feel right to me. I don't hate her. I think she's a fine character. My problem is that because she doesn't really do much, she feels like the Yasuhiro of the second game. And I'm not just saying that because they're stupid, but mainly because they don't really do much. Hero didn't have that Nekomaru death. Oh, by the way, there are spoilers in this. I forgot to mention, but there are lots of spoilers, so sorry. Anyways, Akane had that Nekomaru death to help her survive and think more about life, which was very nice to see. I don't remember, or I can't remember Akane's free time events. I've done everybody's free time events in the series, but this was like years ago, so I'm trying to remember. I can't really remember Akane's. However, I do remember it being something about how she was brought up pretty badly. She was very poor. Her family was very poor. I'm pretty sure it was like something like that. That's why she's always hungry. But yeah, I would compare her to Yasuhiro, and I feel like sometimes the game was kind of, I don't want to say ruin her character, but kind of messed the character with it. So I'm gonna put her in could be improved upon, because she could greatly be improved upon, and I feel like putting her in the middle or the up and down section wouldn't be right, as she definitely was treated. She definitely feels like she just wasn't really useful, and it's unfortunate, especially considering that she was originally going to be the antagonist of the second game. Next we have Angie Unaga, which I recently did a discussion video on her on another Danganronpa YouTuber's channel. Go check him out. Oh yeah, it's Nook. I'm an idiot. I was about to say I don't know how to say their name, but it's Nook, so go check them out. However, with Angie, I feel like I'm gonna put her in the Shadow the Hedgehog, mainly because it's really hard to form an opinion on if I like or I hate her. She definitely does some really good stuff, but she definitely does some really bad stuff, and I don't know if I can fully grasp behind her reasons. So, and it doesn't help that V3 kind of leaves the player's interpretation up a lot during the game, which, again, it's like anything could be interpreted with these characters, which, again, I'm just gonna put no opinion for Angie, because even though I like her design as well, it's very good, but, yeah. Hina. I'm gonna put Hina in. I'm gonna put her in You're Pretty Good, because I feel like with Hina, she's very, her attachment and emotion towards Sakura during Chapter 4 was very, you could feel it, and even though I don't like the reason where she says, I wanted everybody to die, I would have much preferred the reason, or her reason being that she tried to hide Sakura's suicide because she didn't want people to find out because of how close she was with her. And it's quite a shame what happened, really. And I feel like with the Danganronpa 3 anime, you get to see more flavor towards Hina's character, of how supportive she is for Makoto, especially when near the end of the anime, where they all meet up with Kyoko finally, after being separated with Kyoko for a while. You can tell that Hina, really, cared for her classmates, and you can just, I don't know, for me, it's just when it comes to Hina, you can really see her emotion more so than anything. And obviously you could say that about a lot of characters, but I feel like with Hina, it's just very adamant how much she cares and how much she loves her her friends, her classmates, anything. So I'm gonna have to put her in Pretty Good, and also she's a pretty likable character in general, so Hina goes in there. Tegami, you have your up and downs. I'm not a big fan of you, but I do agree that you did make a pretty good antagonist for the first game. It made a lot of people on edge, and especially with the real setting, it was very right for... So for example, my point is, in Danganronpa 1, if we had a character like Kameda in it, I don't feel like they would work as well in that environment or setting as they do in DR2. And the reason why Tegami fits more is because he's acting as a rich, spoiled kid. Well, Kameda is obviously just a bit crazy. So I feel like Tegami definitely fit their right criteria in DR1. And then when it came to the anime, you could definitely see the development. So yeah, this one's a bit hard to point. I'm gonna have to put you in no opinion. Or yeah, because my problem with Celeste is that in Chapter 3, it was so obvious that she was, that it was her, and that really, kind of disappoints me a little, because with Celeste, I'm not saying she, didn't talk at all in the class trials, because she definitely did, but you could definitely tell she was talking way more in chapter 3, or she was like trying to, like, you could just tell she was talking way more than she normally ever does in the game. And to me, I just don't really like that. It just felt a bit, I don't want to say forced upon, but it felt a bit like, well, this is so obvious, what's the point? So I feel like that. Celeste's motives, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's not a bad motive, but it's like, it's her character, so it makes sense. So I'm just gonna leave her in the no opinion, because I'm not exactly sure. Chiaki, you have your up and downs. A lot of people, again, I'm trying to do this with no bias, keep this in mind, but Chiaki is very eminent on, I don't want to, okay, so I've said this before, but the game and the anime tries to pinpoint her as this like perfect Christ godchild, and I don't really like that. She's definitely a very influential character, and I would, if she influenced Izuru, like, that would be fine, because it makes sense. It's Hajime, they met, they hanged out. It makes so much sense. But it really gets to me that it's like, oh, but she's also the influence of every other classmate. And I don't really like that. Like, I get, like, she was, like, the class rep, or she was very, nice to everybody. But, like, characters like Gundam, or characters like Nekomaru, I'm not saying they wouldn't care for her, but, like, would they really be affected as much as other characters? And that really kind of annoys me a little. And in my opinion, I feel like it would have been way better if they just focus on Chiaki being influential towards Izuru, since Izuru is very, like, one of the most important not the most important, but one of the most important characters in the series. So it's like, her influencing just Izuru would have made a lot more sense in my opinion. So yeah, I like how the game treated her, but I did not like how the anime treated her, because of her being a godchild. Chihiro, well, for what Chihiro does and their motives, they're pretty good. Again, it's more so the fact that I did mess up some things in my Chiaki and Chihiro review, which, I can't really go back and fix it. And I don't know why my voice was so loud back then, or whatever. But my point being, with Chihiro's motives and their influence on the game, they're just a very important character. And the reason why I think Chihiro does a great job at it is because even after they died, they were still very important and still tried to help their classmates. And you don't see that with any other character, really. Of them influencing people after death. So I feel like Chihiro is a great example of that. Their motives, I don't want to comment on it, since there's a lot of drama and discourse about it. And again, I don't really have an opinion on it, because I never really saw Chihiro. I never really, like, I don't want to say bothered with Chihiro. I definitely liked them, but I didn't really think Chihiro of any type of sorts. I just kind of focused on alter ego more so than anything, so. But for what they did, and for what happened with Mondo, about them looking up to Mondo for being strong, I feel like their motive fits pretty well. And people could say they died too early, but it's alter ego that helps with that, so. Fuyuhiko, oh, you're pretty good. You had an amazing development with Peko. You had amazing development after chapter 3 with learning to be a better person and learning to grow up. Fuyuhiko is a great example of just character development in Danganronpa 2, and how a character can go from instantly, like, disliked or not liked to people just absolutely loving them. So Fuyuhiko is a great example of that. Gonta, Gonta's a weird choice. I'm deciding between could be improved upon and you have your up and downs. Mainly because even though Gonta's whole thing is being a gentleman, helping everybody, and I'm not saying it's because they're stupid, but it's like, I don't get it. Like, they don't really have a true motive apart from helping, and I'm not a big fan of that. It's literally just that, and I don't know, like, maybe I'm not looking too much into it. I can't remember Gonta's free time events, so I can't really comment on what his free time events were. I'm gonna put him could be improved upon, because for me it wasn't very, it just, and again, it's not for me either, so yeah. Gundam, I'm gonna give you no opinion, mainly because a lot of people get me on for this, because people absolutely love Gundam. Personally, I don't like Gundam. I'm not a big fan of his. I don't really like his character. I don't like his design that much. Again, though, this is just my personal opinion. Please don't get on me for it. I'm not saying Gundam's a bad character. It's just not for me. And the reason I put in no opinion is because of his motives and because of how it went. Problem I have with him killing Nekomaru was that he was saying that he did it so everybody could get out. But my problem is how convoluted and complex he made it. I've had an argument about this with someone before, where they said they made it complex because it's Gundam. But it's like, I'm sorry, but I don't... And I get it's his personality that he doesn't want to admit stuff or whatever, but like, it just doesn't really click to me that he would say, oh, I did this so everybody could get out, but then like make it like the most complex fucking class trial ever. Yeah, it didn't really... I didn't really like that explanation. I feel like if it was like he just wanted to get out, or he just wanted to feed his animals or whatever, that's it. Like, fine. Like, that's the same thing with Celeste. It's like you're a bad person, or like, I don't want to say a bad person, but like if you're doing it for a specific reason, then yes. But if you're doing it for and then you own up to that reason, that's fine. But if you're not, and you're being like, oh, I did it so everyone could get out, but then me and other people in the player base don't 100% think that or believe that, then there's a problem there. So I'm gonna put Gundam in the no opinion. Hajime. I think Hajime, up and downs. I don't really have much opinion on Hajime. He's just somebody who really admired Hope's Peak, and he just wanted a talent, and he was so desperate that he would do anything for it, which he became Izuru. And yeah, there's really not much else for me to say. It's Hajime. So I'm putting Hifumi here because I don't like Hifumi. I don't like his character. I just don't get it. Like, people if you like him, fine, whatever, it's fine. But like, he's cringe. I don't know if that's the right word. Fuck. I don't know if that's the right word. People are like, oh, I find him funny. And they say that about Teru too, which I'm gonna put Teru here as well. People say this about Teru as well. Oh, they're funny, it's fine. But I just don't find them funny. What jokes are they making? Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. It doesn't have they're kind of pervy too, and I'm not really a big fan of pervy characters. And the thing is with Teru, he just reminds me of Mineta from My Hero Academia, which I don't really watch that show anymore, but when I did, it's like, why? Why are you a thing? I don't know, I just don't find them funny, and also both of them died pretty early. Well, Teru died super fucking early. So I just don't really understand it. Again, I don't know. And I didn't do their free time events either. Oh, well, no, I did. It's just I didn't really remember. So yeah. Himiko, Yumeno. I think it's definitely between these two. Put you here mainly because you had an amazing development within Kenko and Anji's death, which, you know, you had to have two characters' deaths to get development. That's pretty crazy. And you survived. You're just crazy in general. I just find it interesting how much her character changed or developed throughout the series. She became way more confident, and people say that she's annoying. I don't really find her annoying. And also, she even created the catchphrase. Well, the catchphrase. It's like the "neh" thing. It's like, that's like grown onto people, or like people like use those like frequently. I feel like she deserves to be up here mainly because of her character development, of how stronger she got and how more confident she got in the end after being just really lazy and not bothered or anything. So Hiyoko, a lot of people hate this gremlin, but no opinion. I don't have an opinion on you. I understand why you're very mean to people, and I don't have an opinion. I like your kimono. I like kimonos. That's something I like, and yours is very nice. However, I don't have an opinion on you, Yoko. Ibuki, I think you have your ups and downs. She died too early. She didn't really have too much of a motive apart from just being crazy, haha, funny girl. So even though people would bias and put her up top, she doesn't really have as much development as other characters, so... But she is very enjoyable to be around, and people say she's cringy or whatever, but like, I don't see it. It's like, I don't know. I don't see how she's cringy at all. Especially when it feels like she's doing it in her own little bubble rather than everybody else's. I feel like that's one thing as well. It's like she's doing it because of she's wrapped in her own little world. So I don't see how that's cringe. But either way, she has her up and down. I can't put her in perfect. Junko Inoshima. This is a very interesting one. I'm gonna have to put you in. You have your up and downs. I don't know what else to say. It's Junko Inoshima. She's the main antagonist of the series. She was very good in one. A lot of people hated them. Even if you hate her, I think she's a nice villain. Not nice, but I feel like she's a fine villain for the series. She's just outgoing, very crazy like, and she's obviously twisted, so I don't know why people say she's a bad villain when it's quite obvious that like she's just doing it because she's twisted. She doesn't really need a motive if she's already kind of messed up herself. Kaede. Alright, listen. I like Kaede. I love her. But again, I have to push personal bias aside and say that Kaede could have been improved upon. She died. She was like one of the first to die. So it's like development where you going. She was just, yeah. So I really like her, and it's also the fact that she was a bit too enthusiastic. And I'm not saying like that's a bad thing, but it's like it felt like her whole personality was like, guys, it's gonna be okay. Do not worry. It's all gonna be okay. And like that was it. There's more to her. Her free time events prove that. Trust me. Her ending for the free time events prove that. She's a very amazing character. I just feel like she could have been improved upon, mainly because she died first. Kaito, you have your up and downs. You're pretty good. Pretty likable. You create a very situational, not situation. You create a very comfortable atmosphere within the game when you hang out with the main character. There's not much else to say really. Just you're very comfortable. Kazuichi Soda, yeah. What? Okay, I'm sorry, but like, no. Okay, what development did Soda have? I don't like. I feel like Soda was just annoying. And I get that they were a bit more improved on in the anime, but when like I see people play the game, or I just play the game in general, it's like people are like, wait, you're still here? It's like, and it doesn't help that for some reason they became like a stalker over time. And one thing that grosses me out is like there was one comment where Monokuma's like, oh Sonia, I saw you use the bathroom. I wish there was more Kazuichi, I really do. I like his hair. I like his hat, I like the design, but I'm not really a big fan. Kibo, you have your up and downs. You're very likable. But you're not perfect. Trust me. Your free time events are really wholesome, very pure. Yeah, you're just not perfect, is all. Kurumi could be heavily improved upon. I love her. Like same with Kaede. I love the design. I love everything about her. She just died way too early. She's an amazing character, and she could have easily been improved upon, but she just didn't get enough development. And I've seen her free time events, and they're very nice, and they're very explaining of a lot of things, but they don't really explain as much as other characters, and it's quite a shame, honestly. Kiyotaka, you have your up and downs. I think Taka's a very likable and nice character. I will be honest, Taka would easily go into the perfect or the top tier if it wasn't for the fact that they turned into this demon Mondo looking character before they died. I didn't feel like it made much sense, and I'm not saying it broke the immersion of the game, but it just didn't flow right for me, and I didn't really see a point in it. Maybe other people liked it. Again, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like Taka was an amazing character who, because they were just on their own, and when they had a friend, it was just an amazing feeling to them, and that's why they were so attached to Mondo so quickly, because they've never had, to me it seemed like they never had a friend before, and then they realized they finally have a friend. It's like, that would just be such an amazing feeling. So, Kokichi Oma. Oh boy, this is quite the interesting character. I'm gonna have to put you in your up and downs. You're very likable, you're very hated, and your motives are pretty out there. My problem with Kokichi not being in the top tier, I absolutely love him. He's in my top 10, just so you know, for like personal bias. He The only reason he's in this tier is because it's the problem with V3 where it leaves a lot of characters to interpretation, and because of that, it doesn't really, you can't really know what you're know the full explanation of something without fan theories or just guessing, which is really a shame because that's the problem with V3, and I'm not really a big fan of it. And my problem with Kokichi's is I'm not saying we don't know 100% what his motives were, but there's a lot of possibilities it could have been, and that's my only problem because we don't know fully, and it leaves me into a blank spot. But I absolutely love his character. For what he does, he's just amazing. I think Kokichi is an amazing character. Corki, I have no opinion because I do not want to get into that. I know. Yes, I'm not even gonna comment on Corki. I'm just gonna put them in the no opinion. Kyoko, yeah, you're pretty good. You had a lot of good development. You're very likable. Your design is great. Your development over the time of the game and the anime was really good. My only problem was that they faked your death twice within the anime, and I wasn't a fan of that. If you're gonna fake a death, why do it like 3 times? Like, I feel like that's just really dumb. So, and I'm not saying she should have died. I'm just saying faking a death twice or 3 times is really stupid. But Kyoko had an amazing development. Leon, you could have been improved upon. We don't know really much about you. We know about some stuff about you, and then you died, and then it's like, Leon who? But you do create this atmosphere that's very you like basically what I say atmosphere. You're very influential mainly because of because you were the first killer. You're the first person to do anything, and even though it's pretty obvious who the murderer was, you know, because it was the first class trial, it was just influential because those 2 characters created this hostile atmosphere that was in Danganronpa 1. It's like, obviously in Danganronpa 1, people were scared, and then as soon as someone died, that's when things heated up for the characters, and it became a lot more hostile and scary. Yeah, so it just could be improved upon. Mahiru could be improved upon. I love you. I'm a photographer myself, so I love Mahiru so much, but you could have been improved upon so much. You died way too early. You have the Chapter 2 curse. I've talked about this before, but Mahiru has the Chapter 2 curse. They just didn't get enough development. They died way too quickly, and it's quite a shame, honestly. Maki, you have your up and downs. No, actually, yeah, you have your up and downs. My problem with Maki is Chapter 5 when she tried to kill everybody. And I'm not saying like she's stupid, but like I just didn't. That is what like, and especially the amount of time that she hanged out with Suichi, it just didn't feel right. I know she was like panicking during that time, but it didn't feel right to me. Makoto, you're pretty good. You're literally the main character of the entire series, and you've appeared in every single game. What much else is there to say? It's Makoto, like it's Makoto. Mikan, you could have been improved upon. Mikan felt like fan service and nothing else, especially in the anime too. The anime is fucking terrible. I like Mikan, I like her design, she's in my top 10 favorite characters, but she felt like a lot of fan service at times, and I wasn't really a fan. I wish like she got a bit more, and I get her whole motive was like she fell in love with somebody and she's never been loved before, and when she did, she was very obsessive and very clingy. Mew, you could have been improved upon too, but in a better way. Yes, you were just very lewd and whatnot throughout the whole game, but you were very useful. You're very important to the game as well. You lasted quite a while. You had a motive. You helped, and even after your death, just like Chihiro, not in the same way, but even after death, you created these weapons like the electro hammers, the electro bomb that helped influence the next chapter, and I feel like that was pretty good. Mondo, same with Mondo has pretty good development. However, they did die a little too early, but I feel like their development with their brother was way better than any other Chapter 2 motive. Mukuro, I'm just going to put Mukuro here mainly because we don't really get to know all too much about Mukuro, especially since we don't get to see her free time events or anything. It's quite a shame really, since I really like Mukuro. The only time we really see her shine is in the anime, and even then we don't know all too much since Mukuro doesn't really talk all that much, so... And it's, yeah, like I said, it's a shame because I love Mukuro, it's quite a shame. Kameda, we all know, okay? I'm not even going to question it. Nekomaru, no opinion. I don't really know what to say about Nekomaru. They're very their motives were clear. Well, not as clear, but their personality was very set. They're just it's Nekomaru. And I don't know how else to say it. I don't really have too much an opinion on them. Peko could easily be improved upon. Not much else to say really. Peko is just again the chapter 2 curse of Mahiru. It's quite a shame really. Really like Peko. And my problem with Peko is that Fuyuhiko benefited from her death, but I feel like Peko didn't benefit off Fuyuhiko, and that quite annoys me. Rentaro, no opinion, mainly because we don't really know much about Rentaro. I would have loved to see them in Clash Trials, but we don't. It's quite a shame, really. However, Ryoma's a tricky one. I'm deciding between improved upon and no opinion. I'm gonna put you in no opinion, mainly because you were good. Your character was good, your personality was good, but we don't learn a lot about you in the game. We learn more stuff outside and learn more stuff in general, but from what we see in Chapter 2, we just don't learn enough about Ryoma, and it feels like he just kind of dies randomly, and it's quite a shame, honestly. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put them in no opinion, because even though, in my opinion, I think they're a pretty decent character, it just feels like they die randomly, and I don't like that. Sakura, I think you have your up and downs, you're pretty good. Actually, no, Sakura's an amazing character. She killed herself because of everything that happened in DR1. I feel like Sakura's a character where even if you don't like her, she's very admirable. I think that's the word for it. Very outgoing, very caring, and you can see throughout the game how much more supportive she is and how much she goes on to care about the cast. So yeah, because even when they betrayed her, she still believed in them. So Sakura could be improved upon. We don't. You die first. We don't really learn much about you. So, and especially that what we do learn was kind of fake personality type of stuff. I'm not gonna. Suichi, I feel like they're pretty good. They get a good development. The ending of V3 really affected me and impacted me, and I feel like Suichi helped a lot with that. Sonia, I feel like Sonia has her up and downs. It's very shaky on her motives and her whole thing, but I feel like she got improved on in the anime about more of a personality with these weapons that she holds and how outgoing she is. She's a very underrated character too, so she's not perfect, but she's pretty good. Kenko, no opinion. I love her. She's probably one of my favorite characters from the Danganronpa series, but I can't really give an opinion on her, mainly because she died a bit too early in my opinion, and she kind of it's kind of like she sacrificed her development for Himiko to get it, so I can't really give an opinion on that. Toko, Toko's an amazing character. She got very improved upon within Despair Girls, and I liked her a lot in Despair Girls. And I feel like she's just an amazing character. There's not much else to say, really. Tsumugi, again, no opinion, because this is a very controversial take with Tsumugi. She's very, it's very questionable. That's my problem. It's very questionable how to interpretate Tsumugi, whether it was the pre-game stuff, the game, the Chapter 6 stuff. It's very confusing, and I feel like no opinion would suit her, because it's like, how would I decide this, really? It's very hard. Tegami could be improved upon, mainly because we don't know a lot about you. We don't even know your birthday, and because of that, we don't even get much fan art of the Ultimate Imposter, and it's quite a shame, honestly. But we learn their relationship with Mitsurai, and it's very wholesome, very, very nice. But again, we just don't learn enough about them. Hero, yeah, could be improved upon. You're just useless. You don't really do much, and it's quite a shame. They're just a chill guy, and even though they do go out their way sometimes to be a bit excessive, it's very, we just don't really learn. I don't know, I don't know, I feel like they could have been improved upon. It feels like they're just there for the comic relief, and it's quite a shame. I don't know who these characters are, because I think they're from like Ultra Despair Girls or the manga. I'm not counting those. The anime now, Chisa. Yeah, Chisa's motives and her whole thing is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think much really needs to be explained. She's very outgoing, she's very nice, she's very caring, she's a great teacher. It's just that I would have loved to see her in future arc more, but she died in the first episode, so it's quite a shame. Because I would have loved to see how she would have acted. Bandai could be improved upon. Why you die super early. We literally just don't know anything about Bandai. It's quite a shame, honestly. There's a lot of characters like this. Same with Grey Gozu. I like the character a lot, but we just don't know much about them. Izuru, no opinion, mainly because it's Izuru. It's not like they don't really have a personality. So what can I comment on really? I'm not gonna count Genocide Jill since I'm kind of lumping her with Toko. So just imagine they're the same. Actually, I'll just put this here. Haji, I'm not gonna say anymore. You guys know the line he says in Despair Girls. Hiroko could be improved upon. We don't know much about you. Would have loved to learn more. Jotaro could be improved upon. We don't know much. Actually, no. I think Jotaro is pretty up there. We know most about him. And his development, even though he doesn't really show too much development, it's like he's still there. He knows his own he knows himself, but then doesn't at the same time. And I know that sounds a bit weird, but it's like he's told to believe something for so long that he just believes it, but then it turns out to be the opposite. And I feel like that helps him a lot, because we even see at the end of Despair Girls that he still doesn't have a mask on, meaning I don't want to say it's interpreted that he's accepting himself more, but it's interpreting that he knows his own flaws and that his ugliness that his mom abused him on wasn't the case. So I would like to interpretate that. Jin, we literally know barely anything about you. So Juzo, no opinion. I don't know what to say really. I don't like him much really. He's just punchy punch. I'm gonna ruin your day. Mudokata for life. So yeah. Tengen was a very interesting villain, but I feel like it just wasn't the comparable or the compatibility that we did see in the other games. So I'm gonna put Tengen in here. Kizakura, I think it's his name. His motives are clear. He wants to save Kirigiri. He wants to help his best friend Jin. I think his motives are pretty clear, and he does a good job of it. And he provides a very good sacrifice at the end, which is quite sad, but it was his whole motive. So Komaru, I think Komaru deserves to be up in here, mainly because her development between Ultra Despair Girls, the anime, and like the different chapters within Despair Girls is quite obvious, and she just has an amazing development of just being this high school girl that was just trapped inside of a room, doing nothing, very shy, very scared, to turn into this character that's just very, very admirable and very brave, and even helping Toko and everything. So I definitely feel like Komaru brings a good example of good character development in Ultra Despair Girls. Kotoko, no opinion. I don't really want to comment on this. Gonna be honest. Everybody probably knows why. I'm just gonna avoid that because, yeah, a bit uncomfortable. Kirokuma, no, I don't like you. What is the point of you? Mudokata, I'm gonna say no opinion, mainly because I don't really know how to put it, because you could say Mudokata was good because he accepted himself and he's trying to atone to his sins at the end of the anime, but at the same time, it's like, what? Like, he was obviously going a bit crazy, but why? Like, it just doesn't make too much sense as to why he did it. Even after what Tengen told him, I just don't believe it. I just don't know. It's very hard to interpret his character, and the only reason he's not in Could Be Approved Upon is because at the end of the anime where he tried to atone to his sins, and he realizes how much he fucked up. So yeah. Daimon, I don't really know where to put Daimon. I guess here, mainly because you're out first in the game. We don't really see you at all, apart from the anime. So I'm just gonna put you here. Monika's pretty self-explanatory. Her motives and goals are pretty clear. She just kind of does it because she wants to be the next Ultimate Despair. There's not much really to her, it's just that. Monodam, let's just put the Mono kids here, where are they? Monokuma, pretty good for what you do. You're the mascot bear. You're pretty evil. You're just a mascot. There you go. Monami, you do pretty good as well. You're just the hope version of Monokuma. You do pretty good. Nagisa, you're pretty good. You're a pretty good character. Yeah, you definitely have a lot of development, and you definitely show it in Dispergos, and I'm not surprised that you're probably one of the most popular within the Warriors of Hope, because you have a really good development arc, and you're very interesting. Ruruka could be improved upon. You're just... why? That's all I gotta say. Midori, Midori's a pretty good character. You definitely have a lot of development within the anime. You definitely have a lot of hardships, worryships. And the people watching definitely feel the emotion and the sadness and the regret and how scared Midori is. So Seiko, you have your up and down mainly because I don't feel like you got the development you could have wanted. It was very sad and it was very impactful, obviously, but I feel like it could have been carried on more. But it just ended on a sad note, and I didn't really enjoy that for Seiko. And I get that was the point, but Shirokuma. It's Shirokuma. It's me. But for real, it's the same with the Monokubs and Kirokuma. It's like we just don't know anything about them, so it's just hard to pinpoint stuff. Izuroi, what do we know about you, really? I'm sorry, but you rarely talk. We just know that you just like to hang around Ruruka, and that's really it. And we just don't know anything about you. That's my problem. Hina's brother, what do we know? Like, you literally die within like 30 minutes of us meeting. Like, I don't know how else to comment on that. We're putting this here because I think it's dumb. I don't know anything about Danganronpa Zero. I'm so sorry, so I can't really comment on that. Sato, what? That's all I gotta say. What? And then Chihiro's dad, same. We literally don't know anything about you, and it's quite a shame, honestly. And then Fuyuhiko's sister can go here, because it's quite clear what she does, quite clear what she wants. She's very spoiled, but she's only seen it for like 2 episodes, so... And then I'm going to make the obvious joke. There we go. So I'm funny. I'm funny, everybody, I swear. Please do not unsubscribe, I'm funny. Anyways, that is my tier list for... Well, the ultimate Danganronpa tier list for what, in my opinion, is characters that could easily be improved upon, characters that have good development, characters that don't have good development, and characters I'm not going to comment on because I don't want people to hate me, despise me, feel uncomfortable, all the sorts. And I don't even feel comfortable talking about some of those characters in the no opinion, so I'm just going to avoid them. Anyways, I want to say this is my 5-sub special review, and like I said, don't expect as many non-off-the-script videos as I have with other videos. This is just kind of like every now and again, and I definitely have some more ideas that people have been suggesting. So again, thank you everybody who's suggesting me milestone ideas or just ideas in general. I have a lot of ideas that I've came up with, but people in the comments have out there and helped me come up with some more ideas. So again, I'm very thankful. This was a very long video, and I do apologize if this wasn't meeting up to anybody's expectations, but I do appreciate it. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Please do not roast me or hate me or in the comments. Please, this is opinionated. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's husband, waifu, or favorite character. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. A new video will come soon. I promise. Don't know when, but it will. So yeah. Anyways, bye everybody. Thank you for watching.